Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum dear students. Our current session focuses on writing process and LTM in a classroom. I hope and expect by the end of this session you would have some insights into the writing process and the related language teaching methods in an L2 classroom. Well, my dear students, traditionally many writing teachers applicate the writing process as a linear process according to Grabe and Kaplan 1996. For example, Paltridge et al. Identify 4 distinct sub-processes in writing. The first sub-process in writing according to them is in the conceptualizing stage, writers generate and select ideas that they can use in their writing. So this is the step where some concepts are established and they organize the ideas in a neat way. That is, an essay must have an introduction, a body, and a closure or a conclusion. So, thinking of some ideas and how they would be presented or sequenced in the opening and in the main body or then in the conclusion. The second sub-process is called formulating, which means putting ideas into sentences. Now giving words to those ideas, to those concepts. This is the second sub-process. The third sub-process is revising, where the writers write, rewrite, and improve their essays. The revisions can be related to the content, to the grammar, and in relation to the mechanics as well. In terms of the organization, there can be revisions, what is to be placed where, in terms of the grammatical choices, in terms of active or passive voice choices, in terms of some direct reporting or indirect narration of something. These kind of choices can be made through the revisions. The fourth sub-process is reading. Writers read the essay's instruction. They read to gather information for the essay topic. They reread their writing to make sure that they are answering all the prompts that are given for the writing of the essay. Well, now the question is, do you follow this linear process when it comes to your writing? I would like you to recall your own experiences of writing. Do you really follow this whole process in this linear way, one step after the other? Well, first thinking of an idea, then thinking of the words that would convey that idea, then putting them in writing form, and then reviewing and revisiting once you have completed the whole text. Probably this, linear process is not very much followed practically in life. The linear process model may under-conceptualize and oversimplify the writing process, because actually in the writing process what happens is that this kind of simplification is not found. Rather, the process of thinking of the concept, of formulating the words to express that, and then to practically writing them and revising them, all these processes go on simultaneously, side by side. For example, after writing a paragraph or even after writing a sentence or two, you may revise them. So revision would not come at the very end when you have completed the task or you have completed the whole essay. So, because writing is a process in which there is, a kind of self-discovery that keeps on going on. The process of writing or the practice of writing unfolds to you certain elements of understanding, and this process of self-discovery makes you make changes at all the levels simultaneously. More recently, some writing scholars suggest that writing is a recursive, non-linear activity, and I think this view is closer to real life ways of writing. Both novice and experienced writers go through various stages of the writing process several times and may not follow a fixed or a particular order. Sometimes they would write something and then they would think about the suitable words and then they would rewrite it. Sometimes one draft would be good enough for them, etc. So, there is not any one specified set of procedures. Clark and Ivanic 1991, following 16 stages of the writing process, claim: number 1, accumulating knowledge and opinions, that is doing the necessary reading to gather information about a particular topic or to have your primary source of data that you would use for writing. This is, according to them, stage 1. Stage 2, according to them, is to describe how to take responsibility, whether you want to mask or declare the writer's position. So, for example, if you are writing it like, I think that this is how it is, so, you are taking a position using first person pronouns. There can be passive constructions of that as well. For example, as it was looked upon, it was thought about. So, this passive structure tells you what, the positioning of the writer is masked. Number 3, analyzing the assignment, that is the question prompt that is given by the instructor and the instructional words, whether you are responding to them or not. Number 4th stage is planning, that is information to be included in the assignment so that the macro-rhetorical goals of writing that piece of essay are achieved. Number 5, establishing goals and purposes. Why are you writing that? Setting the macro-rhetorical goals of the essay and the goal of each paragraph. So both at the macro and the micro level, deciding why I am writing this whole essay, what is the purpose of this first paragraph, what is the purpose of second paragraph, what is the purpose of the last paragraph, etc. Number 6 is establishing the writer's identity, that is showing the writer's commitment to a particular position, taking sides of characters, taking sides or stances regarding any issue, etc. Number 7 is drafting, that is putting together the ideas to construct an argument that is in the written form. Number 8, considering constraints of time and space, deadline submission time, length of the essay, duration of producing it, etc. Number 9, formulating the writer's own ideas, which means the writer, of course, as a human being would have certain opinions on a particular topic. So how to shape them, how to present them, how much of that to be presented, etc. Number 10, experiencing panic, pain, and anguish, that is going through the complicated and difficult processes of writing. Simply taking pains when you are writing, being fully involved in that is what it means. Number 11 stage is experiencing pleasure and satisfaction, finishing the assignment. So, being fully motivated to do that and then being fully satisfied with what you produce. Number 12, revising, that is making certain changes to make sure the arguments are persuasive, and on the macro-rhetorical goal level, whether you have been able to achieve the overall goal of writing that or not. So, revising to check that. Number 13, considering the reader, whether the text that you have produced is reader friendly, whether the reader would be able to understand that or not. To check that is the 13th stage. The 14th stage is clarifying writer's commitment to his or her idea. So conforming to the writer's stance about a particular issue. And number 15th, or finally, putting knowledge of the language to use. As a writer, all the knowledge that you have of language, choosing appropriate language structures, choosing appropriate lexical items, and chunks of language to convey the overall rhetorical goal that you have focused for yourself.